Hey there! Whether you're in the middle of a heavy study session, grabbing a quick break between classes, or honestly, just trying to unwind, I invite you to just take a deep breath and settle in for a bit. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to take a super calm, really grounded look at the physical materials that quietly shape our everyday lives. We're stepping away from the stressful, intimidating chemistry equations for a moment, and instead, we're just going to appreciate the pure, invisible magic of the built world around us. So, pause for just a second. Literally look at the device you are using right now to listen to this. Whether it's a laptop, a tablet, your phone, have you ever actually wondered what invisible chemical bonds make its casing, its keys, or its screen possible? I mean, we touch these objects hundreds of times a day, right? But we rarely stop to think about the absolute engineering marvels that make them so incredibly durable. Section 1. The magic around you. Understanding the building blocks of our world. To really demystify these everyday objects, we kind of need to gently peel back the layers of the finished product. Before a laptop casing can be molded, or say a raincoat gets stitched together, we first have to understand their most microscopic building blocks, and those are polymers. Now, the word polymer actually comes from Greek. Poly means many, and mer means units. But instead of getting bogged down in intense chemistry, just imagine a polymer as a really long, continuous chain of paper clips, or maybe interlocking Lego bricks. Each individual paperclip, or Lego brick, is a smaller molecule called a monomer. So when you link a massive number of these monomers together, you get a macromolecule, like connecting a ton of ethylene molecules to get polyethylene. Simple enough, right? Now, here is where it gets really interesting. When these long polymer chains possess a specific physical property called plasticity, we officially call them plastics. And plasticity just means that when you apply stress or force, typically that's heat and pressure, usually alongside a catalyst, the material permanently deforms. In other words, it can be molded into exactly the shape we want and is going to hold that shape forever. Once engineers fully realized they could mold these polymers, plastics completely revolutionized our world. And that's because of some very specific advantages they have over traditional materials like metal or wood. Our sources point out that plastics offer a really low fabrication cost, and they actually have a stress-strain relationship that's surprisingly similar to metals. But unlike most metals, they're fantastic thermal and electrical insulators. These unique properties are exactly why the handle of your morning coffee maker doesn't burn your hand, why your charging cables don't shock you, and why your electronics are safely insulated from moisture and corrosion. They even help reduce noise and vibration inside heavy machinery. It's pretty brilliant. Section 2. Two families of plastics, the melters and the setters. While there are honestly countless types of plastics out there, we can make things so much easier on ourselves by dividing them into two main families. And this division is based almost entirely on one simple question: how do they react to heat? First up, we have thermoplastics. Think of these guys as the flexible melters. They're made of long-chain macromolecules held together by weak secondary forces. That means they soften up really easily when heated, and they become rigid again when cooled. You can reshape and reuse them over and over, kind of like melting and refreezing ice. On the flip side, we have thermosetting plastics. These are the setters. During their very first molding, they form these super strong, three-dimensional, cross-linked networks. They set permanently. Actually, trying to melt a thermosetting plastic is literally like trying to unbake a cake. You just can't do it. If you heat it too much, it simply burns. Section 3. Plastics in the real world. Bridging chemistry and daily life. Okay, so now that we understand the two main families, let's look at how these abstract chemical categories actually show up as the highly functional, everyday heroes we rely on. We'll start with some brilliantly adaptable thermoplastics. Take polyvinyl chloride. You almost certainly know it as PVC. It's produced by heating vinyl chloride with a catalyst, like benzoyl peroxide, and it starts out as this colorless, non-inflammable, chemically inert powder. It has a pretty high softening temperature, around 148 degrees Celsius, and it stubbornly resists atmospheric stuff like oxygen, carbon dioxide, and moisture. But what makes PVC so fascinating is its duality. Because of its chemical makeup, PVC can live two totally different lives. In its unplasticized, rigid form, it's incredibly tough and unyielding. It protects us in the form of safety helmets or motorcycle mudguards. But if engineers mix in a softening agent called a plasticizer, that exact same resin transforms into plasticized PVC. And that is the highly flexible material that keeps us dry in a raincoat or a shower curtain. It is the exact same base polymer, but with an entirely different daily application. Mind-blowing, right?
Another incredible thermoplastic we interact with all the time is polycarbonate. Because it contains carbonate groups, this material is super easy to work with, it's remarkably strong, and, maybe most importantly, it is optically transparent. This makes polycarbonate absolutely perfect for shatter-resistant construction materials. Think large, elegant architectural doors or the clear sheeting they use in modern greenhouses. Fun fact, it's also the exact material they inject into molds to create the data layers of CDs and Blu-ray discs.
Then we have a material you likely have sitting in your kitchen right now, Teflon. Scientifically, it's known as polytetrafluoroethylene, or PTFE. The secret to Teflon is all in its molecular structure. Specifically, it's packed with highly electronegative fluorine atoms. These atoms create incredibly strong attractive forces inside the material. That gives Teflon high density, exceptional toughness, and near total chemical resistance to pretty much everything except hot alkali metals and hot fluorine. Plus, it boasts a massive melting point of 350 degrees Celsius. Because of this intense thermal and chemical resistance, Teflon serves a pretty amazing dual purpose in our modern world. Out in heavy industry, it safely insulates electrical motors, high-voltage transformers, and the heavy-duty cables hidden behind the walls of your dorm or apartment. Yet, right in our homes, that exact same heat and chemical resistance serves as the invisible barrier that keeps your morning eggs from sticking to the frying pan.
Finally, what happens when engineers need something even stronger than a standard plastic? Well, they turn to composite materials, specifically fiber-reinforced plastics, or FRPs. This process involves taking a plastic matrix, like a polyester or an epoxy resin, and embedding solid fillers right into it, like threads of glass or carbon. By combining these materials, we get the absolute best of both worlds. We get a material with high dimensional stability, an incredibly low coefficient of thermal expansion, and a massive tensile strength-to-weight ratio.
To picture how this is made, just imagine glass being drawn out into these super fine, almost cotton-like threads, woven into a mat and then completely saturated with a synthetic plastic resin. This composite approach creates materials that are so unbelievably lightweight, yet so structurally sound, that they're used to build spacecraft, airplanes, and even 300-ton water storage tanks. You also see them in daily life as those colorful, highly durable, acid-proof industrial grids, or even in the protective fiberglass masks worn by hockey goalies.
Section 4. A peaceful closing thought. Appreciating the built world.
As we wrap up this explainer, let's take a moment to step back from all the technical specs and just appreciate the quiet, beautiful ingenuity that constantly surrounds us. I know it's super easy to look at a chemistry syllabus and just feel completely overwhelmed, but by looking past those intimidating chemical formulas, we can actually see the human intent behind them. Understanding our materials truly helps us appreciate the built world around us. Manipulating these invisible, microscopic bonds is really just humanity's way of creating physical comfort, safety, and reliable function in our daily lives.
Chemistry isn't just something that happens in a sterile lab. It is quite literally the fabric of your everyday experience. So the next time you pick up your phone, or look out a clear polycarbonate window, or throw on a PVC raincoat to brave a storm, ask yourself, what other invisible molecular magic is quietly making your day possible? Keep that gentle curiosity alive. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and happy learning.